The Connecticut Sun bagged their first home win of the WNBA season against the Atlanta Dream last night, behind Money Mabry's impressive 34-4-4 performance. Omar, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think Money Mabry was the best player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
She's the best player in a lot of the games the Connecticut Sun play. I think she's probably a top 5 guard in the league. And she was a 3rd or 4th option last year for the Sun when they brought her in from the Chicago Sky. And she's better than that. She deserves better than that. And now you're getting to see what she looks like on high usage. I mean, incredibly efficient from the field overall, from the 3, from the free throw. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and every single one of those assists was hard-earned. I saw a lot of Tyrese Halliburton-esque passes where she would get it near her own basket, and she's leading the passer almost all the way to the other basket. So quite a bit of range on her passes. I really like that. Overall, though, I would say the win was a bit lucky. I thought Tina Charles played a lot better than she has been and that she's capable of doing. When you watch the game, she still had some pretty bad shot selection. She's at the long 2, right? She's in a triple threat position. Sort of jab steps, has no space, just does a little dribble move, and then steps back into the long midi, so she doesn't even get the 3 off. Then on pick and rolls and just cutting to the baskets, I still didn't like her hands in catching the passes. So I thought she overperformed, but overall, I think the Connecticut Sun, they lost to the Atlanta Dream last time by 20 or 30 points. They were only able to put up 55, so they knew they had to do something. We have to get offense going, or this is just not going to work, and they were able to do that. But again, pretty lucky game. Bria Hartley went off for the Sun. I don't think she's really that good. Olivia, she's pretty bad. She got 3 steals, but she got benched after 12 minutes because she was just not being helpful on the offensive or defensive end outside of those steals. She was having some miscommunications, which is why the Atlanta Dream were still having the lead at the beginning of the game. And so they're testing players like J.C. Sheldon, Jaylen Brown, Haley Peters, etc. to see if they're just, because this is a team that's new. They got a lot of rookies, a lot of young players. They clearly don't have any championship chances, so they're just testing stuff out. So I think they got lucky, but obviously the Atlanta Dream had to play bad. When you're favored by 11.5 versus a team that only had 1 win coming into this game, and you're at the top of your conference, you choked. Simple as that. And most of that blame for me goes to Ryan Howard. Real quick, I like a lot of the players on that team. Alicia Gray, Breonna Jones, Griner, Naz Hillman off the bench, who had an amazing game. 4 or 5 from the free throw line, 2 of 3 from the 3, 4 of 6 overall. Just highly efficient. You couldn't ask for anything more, but it just wasn't enough because Ryan Howard's taking 18 shots, and she had the brace, so she's playing through injury or whatever. Don't sit at home. Your team will win more games without you there, because it's not that she's awful, she's just average, but her usage is so high. She takes so many shots that your team is limited to being average. You don't get to take advantage of your good role players because it's just there's too much volume for Ryan Howard. It'd be like, you're taking you're like the Kobe of this team. You're taking a lot of shots. If Kobe was, instead of being a top 5 player in the league, like 25th, the team can only go so far. And that's the fundamental issue with the Atlanta Dream for me and why they lost this game.
Oh, yeah, I completely disagree. I think you're way off on your estimations here. First of all, I think Marina Mabry, she is great, but top 5 guard in the league is crazy. She is very much hit or miss.
List them right now.
I can't go over the list right now. I don't have it prepared, but she's very much hit or miss. I don't think you could ever give someone that inconsistent the top 5 moniker. A great part. One of the biggest parts of success in this league is consistently showing up for your team, and maybe cannot do that. Some nights she goes absolutely nuclear, and other nights she goes nuclear waste.
Because she's the only one on the scouting report. That's
no, Tina Charles absolutely on the scouting report.
100%.
You were hating on the efficiency.
No one
can take the shots she's taking because no one had that level of skill in the post. Her step back one-legged fadeaway is insane. No other. Aja Wilson's not doing that. Nafisa Collier's not doing that.
Is she better than any of them?
I don't think she's better than them. But I don't think she's better than them. But she adds a level of an offensive layer to this team that many other teams don't enjoy. So I think you're totally underrating Tina Charles. If I did have one issue with her, it's actually her defense. Because as she's growing older, I think her defensive prowess has really reduced. And that was really clear. She was unable to touch Brittany Griner or stop her at all. Griner was 7 of 10 from the field. And this segues into my next point, where the only thing I do agree with you on, which you've electing to saying that something smart, is that this game was more so lost by the Dream than won by the Sun. And I honestly put the blame partially on Ryan Howard, obviously because she didn't play well, but also on the head coach, Smesko. They did not at all try to think to change their approach. They just let Ryan Howard continue to chuck shots when Brittany Griner is literally 7 of 10. Why aren't they playing through her? She's showing that you can do that. She's capable of that level of usage and play.
Because they couldn't get inlet
but they didn't even try.
That's a great question. I watched the Atlanta Dream be unable to get the ball in the paint because they were incapable of doing anything. I guess, are you blaming the coach for that they don't know how to get inlet passes?
I think the game plan could have been adjusted to get the ball to Griner. I don't think the Sun are some impregnable defense a la Mike Tyson that you can't get the ball into your...
You mean Floyd Mayweather?
Nah, we're talking about Mike Tyson. Don't mention that gremlin near me, bro.
What?
And then my final point, I don't think you can any shine or credit to Sonya Rivers. Okay, Rivers, apologies. Yeah. She played fantastic. 4-9 from the field. She's a rookie, but she's having a great showing. And her defense, I'm loving her perimeter defense. I'm loath to agree with you, but if you want to say the inlet passes were hard to get to, Sonya Rivers was a big component of that. So honestly, for the Sun, I'm just seeing. I agree that Tina Charles played really well, but I don't think it's.
Agree with yourself.
It's not necessarily an outlier. But I think she played really well. But I think you're giving too much credit to Mabry. Like, she played well, obviously.
Bro.
But I don't think she's a top 5 guard at all due to her lack of consistency. Okay, you need to be able to show up consistently for success in anything, especially the dub. And then finally, Sonya Rivers, she had a fantastic game. If she keeps playing like that, I expect more wins for the Sun.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, you had a good point. Let's start there.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Sonya Rivers, yes, good. Anissa Morrow, also good. They're both rookies for the Connecticut Suns, the 8th and the 7th pick, respectively. Right now, I have Sonya as better. I think she's just playing better. She's more contributing to winning basketball right now. But I will credit this to AM. I know she had an injury issue, like after the draft, during the offseason, whatever it was. So her progress just might be a little slower than Sonya right now. But both draft picks are looking like they did it good there.
They cooked.
Now, my issue with what you're saying about Mabry is I think you're incredibly disrespectful to her, and here's why. Here's some of the top guards in the league right now. Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabry. Arike is not actually good, so I can't put her up there.
I won't
say,
Arike.
Natasha Cloud, probably not. You're not putting up in that level. Sabrina Ionescu, right? So these are probably the 6 players. Sabrina is not even close to the number 1 option on our team. Everyone knows you're game planning for Stewie way before you are for Sabrina. Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young, do I really need to say much more? Aja, leading your team in every single statistical category. The Caitlin Clark, we've seen her be inconsistent. She's not as inconsistent as Mabry in terms of scoring, maybe. I think her 3-ball falls
Clark's
more.
a way better pass. Let's get that straight. Actually, honestly, I don't want to cut you off, but maybe we're talking about guards, right? She only had 4 assists. The better guard on her team is Hartley. Hartley had 6 assists. I think I want to say only 2 or 3 turnovers. Okay,
that's because she's passing to Mabry.
Okay, yeah, but she's the one facilitating, which is really important for a guard because I think facilitators go underrated in this league. Just like you were overrating this score first guard in lieu for Hartley, who was more pass first.
No. And here, let me finish the point I was making, where pretty much all these quote unquote top guards, they have someone else on their team as their number 1 option. The only guards who are number 1 options on their team are Marina Mabry, Kelsey Plum, and Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Plum, are we going to forget the 4 of 19 games she had, just choking game winner after game winner opportunity? I was still frustrated with her. I was disappointed, but that's what happens when everyone knows, like, all right, bro, Dearica Hamby, she gets some boards, and that's about it. With the way this team is constructed, it's through Kelsey Plum. Caitlin Clark, super inconsistent. It's in a category that a lot of casuals don't look at, though, turnovers. She's tightened it up a lot more this year. I understand last year was a rookie year, but she's still pretty loose with the ball. The main thing that she's quote-unquote consistent with is the 3-ball, but what about the layups? What about the assists? I think she's had quite a bit of variance there. And then I think she's worse on defense than Marina Mabry is. So when I look at...
But Mabry nothing special on defense.
And just to be clear, Caitlin Clark has much better teammates than Marina Mabry. Aaliyah Boston is better than any player on the Connecticut Suns. People want Tina Charles to be an Aaliyah Boston level, but she's not there. Lexi Hall, good. DeWanna Bonner not currently playing good, but should be good. The only player that she has on Indiana that is like a Sun-level player is Kelsey Mitchell. And that's my opinion. Casuals don't even necessarily want to agree with me. So by that logic, I'm not using this opportunity to hate on Caitlin Clark. I'm just saying, like, Marina Mabry is maybe a little more inconsistent because she has much worse teammates. If they were to switch spots, I don't think Marina Mabry would be doing worse than Caitlin Clark.
I think Mabry is more like one of the most inconsistent players in the league because her highs are so high, but her lows are really low. Like, she can build you a house in one game.
But that's because she's one of the highest usage players. When she was the 3rd, 4th option on this Connecticut Sun when she got traded, it was always just 16 points. She's a bit of a shot
chucker. So for me, she's a bit of a shot chucker. I don't know
what does that mean.
This level of play, I don't think can convert to winning basketball.
But she was doing fine on the Sun. That's what I'm saying. She was giving you 16 every night. She wasn't chucking shots for it. So I really just fundamentally disagree. I think she's just high usage. That's what you need. You can't just.
But no, that's the thing. You're saying she's high usage. Yeah, I could be high usage too. But are you good with the usage?
She is.
No,
yes.
she's not. I don't think it's good if some games you're absolutely snapping and other games you just are terrible.
That's what happens when you have no other offensive pressure.
That's why I call it inefficient shot chucker.
She is not an inefficient shot. Enrique is an inefficient shot chucker. You put Satusa Bally near her. Look at what she's doing with the Phoenix Mercury right now, right? So then you think back to the Dallas Wings. I've seen an inefficient shot chucker in the dub. So I just disagree. Jewel Lloyd, I thought she wasted the Seattle Storm and their potential too. I know what archetype you're talking about, but Marina Mabrey she has never been allowed to be a number 1 option or even a number 2 option, except for when she has trash teammates around her. She was that in the Chicago Sky. She had diddly squad around her. Then she goes to Connecticut Sun, 3rd, 4th option, good, really no complaints, doing well. Then everyone leaves. They blow the team up because they're like, we're never going to win with this core. And now she has trash around her again. So I feel like you're just being unfair to her because I think Kelsey Plum's team is better, Caitlin Clark's team is better, and then all the other guards you can think of, they already have super teams built around them.
Kelsey Plum doesn't have a great team either.
It's better. It's much better.
I don't know.
Dude, are you kidding me right now? The Los Angeles Sparks, I think, have more wins, and they dropped some wins that people felt like they should have won. Every time the Sun team wins, everyone's like, wait, they won? I thought, like, they were literally down 11.5. That was a spread, 11.5. I had a bet on the Sun plus 11.5. By the way, I got shout out MGM, shout out Pinnacle. But that's how bad they are. You're 11.5 underdog to a team that no one would say is the championship contender. This Sun team lost to the New York Liberty by damn near 50 points. They doubled their score. That's not happening to the Sparks.
Okay, I'll give that to you. Like, she is high usage, but like, I think that kind of inconsistency. I need to see something more. Like, I need to see her, I guess. Like, this, because
you need to see her win.
No, because what I'm trying to say is when you are a high usage, but you have games where you play badly. When I watch her on the night she's not shooting well, I'm not seeing how she contributes. All the best players and the players that play well with other stars, when they don't have the ball, they can make other impact on the game. Maybe defense, off-ball offense, passing, etc. I don't see her having those skills. She's a fantastic shooter some nights, but other nights she's damn near invisible. So that's where I'm coming from.
I disagree.
So I can see what you're saying with the team difference. Sure, maybe you can argue top 5 if you factor in the teams. But at her as a player, I'm still not seeing the same kind of like multifaceted greatness that other guards have.
Yeah. I disagree because I think she could play better. She's already better defense than someone like Caitlin Clark, and she could play even better if she had an offensive star with her who she could actually trust. And then I think her passing. Tina Charles is not that, bro. Tina Charles is worse than Lexi Hull right now. You telling me who I want for my team right now? I'm not even talking about the age, like, right? Because obviously you could be like, well, Lexi Hull's worse, but you could get a longer career out of her. I'm talking about for 10 games, I get one of these players, and my objective is to win as many games as possible in these next 10. I'm taking Lexi Hull. I'm taking Aaliyah Boston. I'm taking pretty much everybody except Kelsey Mitchell.
Okay, there's levels to this game. Aaliyah Boston, Tina Charles, and then I'll give you Lexi.
No, bro. No.
I don't. You're putting Lexi in the same with Aaliyah Boston. I think that's crazy.
Give me Sonya Rivers right now over Tina Charles.
What?
Give me Sonya Rivers right now. Tina Charles was on this dream team, by the way. Have you noticed she only shows up when she's versus her old teams? That's all. She doesn't even have motivation to play the game anymore. She's just showing up for the sake of showing up, and you got a good game out of her, but she's not doing this on a regular basis. And when you're like a really good player on a just god-awful team and no one has anyone on the scouting report except you, it's hard to show up every night and make those shots. Like, you watch that game, watch Mabrey's points. She is earning every single one of these points. She's driving it off the perimeter. She got her defender on her. There's someone in the paint ready to stop her. She's putting up almost these ugly-looking floaters. She's playing herky-jerky kind of movement, doing anything she can to surprise the defense into not being ready for the inevitable shot she's going to take. And like I said, she wants to do the pick and roll with like Tina Charles, where she's like driving, and she's keeping that threat on you. But if you really know Tina Charles, you know she can't catch that rock like that. So you can't even play that game the way you'd want to. So I 100% disagree with you, man. Like, Marina Mabrey, she's underrated. Even after this win and the way people are probably talking about her, she's still underrated. She's the only reason this team is going to get any wins. But hey, shout out the rookies. You guys might have hit on something.
Yeah, definitely. You guys shout out the rookies. Like, they were a big part of this win. We'll disagree on Tina Charles' contributions. And at the end of the day, like I said, Money maybe she did have a fantastic game. I think where we place her in the overall ranking of the dub, we disagree. But overall, she did play fantastic.